Hello, dear friends. Trump's papal disguise means he controls the Vatican. It was a political message. Opinion piece. No more war. We are not there yet. Everything is connected. Doctrine-free spirituality. How to weather this storm. We are nearing the end of history. All that is hidden will come to light. Let's start. According to Steve Biko, both ascended and intergalactic sources and more mainstream sources agree that there will be no more war in the world. All nuclear weapons have been neutralized. What we are seeing is what the White Hats believe is required to awaken the world, not only to its danger, but also to a controlled and a miserable existence. According to Saratoga Ocean, we are at a positive turning point. Let the world be what it is for now and focus on your own transformation. In any case, events seem to be moving at an incredible speed. But something ironic is also happening. It seems that the chaos in the world is settling in but slowing down. We are reaching a strange balance between chaos and change have become the norm. Where both have become the norm, I mean. Perhaps our collective nervous system is getting used to the constant chaos, and we are now figuring out how to adapt. Alarmism. The Storm Rider explains the mass confusion in Europe regarding the various explanations for the recent wave of blackouts in Spain, Portugal, parts of France, the UK, Morocco, and even Greenland. It was the sun, it was solar panels, wind turbines, nuclear plants, etc. That is to say, the White Hats in Europe don't want to say what the dark side narrative wants them to say, which is to blame Russia for the blackout even though it had nothing to do with it. In his view, the blackouts were a dark side cyber attack instigated and carried out by Five Eyes. He adds that the cabal's downfall is underway and that everything is slowly leading to the courts. According to Steve Biko, several videos seem to suggest that China will go to war with the Philippines and perhaps also Taiwan. This is all pure farce. What is planned is the emergence of a democracy, free of the CCP led by Xi Jinping with the support of the coalition. Specifically, Xi Jinping is allied with Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, Mohammed bin Salman, Narendra Modi, and other world leaders to end the rule of the dark side. What you are seeing is what they believe must be done to achieve that end. When they determine that enough people are awakened to the fact that something is seriously wrong, they will declare a curfew and bring down the global cabal. Sources. Our other sources of information are representatives of cosmic civilizations. Our star family, who are here to ensure our ascension, occurs without interference, and all the dark side thus is interfere. Our eloquent informants guide us on how to weather this storm and reach the other side, and they wait for it to pass so they can land and bless us with their gifts, all to welcome us into galactic society. So we have nothing to fear from our star family, only from certain sectors of our earthly family. Diana of Sirius assures us that the galactics are very aware of what is happening and have a complete view of the likely outcome of the momentum we have created. In quotes, we are ready to take control on your behalf as soon as possible and prevent any reckless actions by the dark side as they contemplate defeat. We know exactly how they think, and we will stop any attempt to prevent the light from manifesting in the world. So, relax and watch the movie. Allow the white hats to dismantle the cabal behind the scenes while we watch what happens on our screens from the safety of our homes. This war will be seen on television. At the end, I mean. Amazing possibilities. Francis was supposed to be the last pope, so serious negotiations have begun that focus not on a new pope, but on a new era, according to Benjamin Fulford. The implications could be far greater than most people imagine. The current rulers who have tried to turn us into farm animals are being overthrown. Humankind will be able to decide its own future for the first time in thousands of years. The possibilities are astounding. The truth is, we now have the technical capability to become immortal beings capable of turning this planet into a paradise. This is what they promised. Our ancestors have been killed after the end of the last Pope's term. Now we need to establish the institutions that will allow us to chart our path to paradise on earth. That is what is being negotiated in Rome this week. Over the years, a whole range of secret societies have agreed on the idea of creating a council representing 7 regions to address problems affecting the entire planet. Decisions would be made by majority vote, and vetoes would be limited to the region or regions that veto them. This would avoid a deadlock like the one we have seen at the UN, where they have systematically blocked the world with a veto. Control of the western side of the magic money printing machine has been in the hands of the Pope, along with the British monarchy and the Pentagon, headed by the US President. By posting a photo of himself as Pope, President Trump is trying to position himself as a world leader, because a confrontation has begun over who governs the West. However, we are witnessing a theater, and the true controllers remain in the shadows. So, who are the puppeteers behind all this theater? When will the secret be revealed? It's about to happen. This week, groups will decide who will lead the West in negotiations with Asians over the future of this planet. No coincidence. According to Kavamur, it's no coincidence that Trump's connection to the Galactic Federation was known, or that the mysterious drones originated over his New Jersey residence while he explained he was there for research and other reasons. It's all connected. Of course, it was a psychological operation. That was never a secret. It was a plan to free people from their programming and awaken spiritually. It promoted human potential, hope, peace, and a doctrine-free spirituality, as all Pleiadians do, but never complacency, never false hope. Promising public arrests was the only way to get people to pay attention. It was always said that some things should remain hidden. The second was a Pleiadian contact with intelligence. They are the biblical angels preparing for our ascension. There was talk of angels, ascension, and invisible forces of darkness and light, but not angry gods, hell or blood rituals to save us from our sins. Spirituality, not doctrine. The Great Awakening was never about public arrests. There had to be a way to engage the masses. It was about generating questions and critical thinking to free themselves from programming. We are nearing the end of 3D history, and everything hidden will be revealed. It is time for human beings to be aware of the dark forces manipulating the earth, and, even more importantly, to know that the forces of light have always been with us. To trust in the plan is to trust in God or the forces of light, preparing for our ascension. The Galactics wants us to save ourselves by learning to empower ourselves and choosing light and truth. The drops coincide with DNA downloads received by starseeds. They had multiple meanings that could be understood depending on each person's level of consciousness. The White Hats know the Pleiadians and what is coming. The White Hats do not lie to the public or force actors to put on a show. We have seen a black hat puppet show. That does not mean we have not won. Ascension is guaranteed. The arrests cannot be made public because the White Hats do not control the government or the media. Be optimistic about the future, but understand that we are not yet at the end. Never forget that your inner peace does not depend on external circumstances. Those who are blind will see the light. A beautiful, brave new world awaits us. We embark on this journey together, step by step. Ufology. The reason the government keeps the existence of aliens a secret is that it collaborates with some of them to obtain high-tech information and build their own spacecraft and weapon systems. Globalists believe that whoever possesses the most advanced spacecraft systems will be able to rule the world. Some very benevolent clouds are watching over us. The proof of UFOs is not in what you see, but in what you know. A celestial host of more than 500 million radionic ships of light orbit the Earth daily. The entire radionic fleet, located outside the orbit of Pluto in the fifth dimension, is much larger. The four horsemen of the apocalypse are the four great motherships of the fleet. The same heavenly host was also present in biblical times. The ships orbiting the Earth are in the fourth dimension and are invisible to the naked eye. However, they are magnetic, hence the term radionics. The presence of their magnetic fields ionizes atmospheric water vapor in the third dimension. The ionized water vapor accumulates along the magnetic lines, producing unique reflections of the magnetic field in the clouds above them, which constitute their signature. Breaking news. Trump ends the UN's 2030 agenda. The US will pay illegal immigrants $1,000 to return home. The White House says there is no deadline for releasing the Epstein files. Marines deploy first high-power microwave weapon to combat drone swarms. White Hats intercept a secret shipment containing electromagnetic weapons and safety switches designed to cut off the power supply. According to Catherine Austin Fitts, the US government that has built a 21 trillion underground city for the rich and powerful to live in if a catastrophe occurs. Beneath our feet lies a forbidden world, 18 levels deep, 200 cities connected by ancient tunnels, discovered by a man chasing lost chickens, from Turkey to Chicago to Iraq. Economy. According to Financial Heresy, massive tax cuts are coming. According to Mike Maloney, the perfect storm is brewing in the real estate and the stock markets. According to Clay Clark, the central bank's control over the people is coming to an end, and the new financial dawn is here. Trump announced a full trade embargo against China through a secondary sanctions announcement that blocks all trade with any country that buys oil from Iran. The global economy enters a new era. Amid trade tensions and significant political uncertainty, the path forward will be determined by how challenges are addressed and opportunities are seized. A monetary reset is coming. The current debt-based fiat system is in dire straits, and according to David Morgan, a reset of some kind is imminent, which could alter the financial landscape. The world is increasingly reliant on rare earth elements for everything from electric vehicles and wind turbines to advanced defense technology. But China holds a monopoly on its processing, controlling global prices and forcing the West to struggle to secure its own supply chains. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.